right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Market Prep. That was not intentional. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend, guys, as we get started here on this week of trading. Not sure where Peter is. I hope he's okay. I don't see him on the screen. Maybe I got a message from him, but we'll get started. We'll wait for him to show up a little bit later. Maybe he's doing his routines this morning, going to the pool as he usually does, and getting his workout in. So good for him. All right, friends, let's get to it. Our gap. Oh,
Whoa.
got it.
Hello.
Over here keeps coming up. There we go. Got rid of that. Oh, Peter, there you are. Good morning.
I don't know. I had the splash screen and then I just realized you were in the room. So it never
Yeah.
never clicked in for me. All right, we're here.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Excellent, man. Good to see you.
Whatever. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. So Peter, this morning, our gappers list coming off the weekend again, coming off not incredible, but a very eventful weekend. Things could have been a lot worse, but market's pretty muted right now with what we got going on here. Let's head over to our market pulse again. Gappers list not showing a whole lot. Let's see what's happening here in the overall news. A lot going on over the weekend that can affect today, and I think we got some numbers today too, Peter.
Yeah, we had some numbers that just came out. Three different numbers actually. So probably the biggest impact are the retail sales that just came out. Didn't actually cause much of a market reaction, to be honest. But retail sales came out above expectations, quite a bit above expectations. In fact, expectation month over month, which is probably the biggest one, was expected to only be a 0.4% growth. We did have 0.9% last month, so that's pretty big. It was expected to be half of that, but it came in at 0.7. So retail sales continue to be strong in the U.S. Keep buying, people. You're doing good work, and that's got the market moving up. So that's always a good news. Interestingly, the other number the second number that we typically look at is the New York State Empire manufacturing, which sometimes has a greater impact. This is an interesting one, though, significantly down. The forecast, so last month, this is always a relative index, right? It was down 20.9 points. It was expected to only be down 5 points, so continued contraction in the New York manufacturing sector, but it was actually down 14.3, so significantly above the estimate or the forecast, but below what it was last month. So, I'm not sure how much of an impact that has. Maybe that's why the SPY is muted on its move up on the retail sales, because those sort of offset. The third and final number that I was looking for was just the core retail sales, different than the gross retail, and it was up fairly heavily. 0.5% was the estimate, 1.1 was the actual. So, and that's a lot higher than it has been any previous month this year. So we're seeing, so people are buying things, but we're manufacturing less. Don't know what that means, to be honest. A little bit of a mixed picture there, but the market seems to think it's good news. So up we go. I was looking around the world this morning. Actually, it wasn't all that great. Around the world, we had sort of a downward picture in the futures, but it seems to have turned around now. Global markets are generally green. Commodities, though, energy prices and that are generally down, while some of the commodities, they're all over the place. Gold is down marginally, silver is up, platinum is down, copper is up. Like, it's a little bit weird how mixed it is. So not sure what to expect today, but that means we may have some opportunity in this market. Later this morning, probably 10 o'clock, definitely need to keep an eye on 10. The business inventories and home builder confidence index coming up. And by popular demand, I'll do my best to get on with your action news music, and we'll give you that update live, since everybody seems to tell me when I don't do it. So there you go. We'll do
They
that
love
for you.
it.
It's a crowd favorite. The only other thing that we've got going on is after the market closed tonight with the daily speaking. I thought I'd add that in just because normally I don't put stuff on there that happens after market hours, but it's maybe they thought it was market hours San Francisco time and got confused. I don't know, but anyways, sometimes the daily speeches have an impact sort of the next day, so we'll keep an eye on that for tomorrow morning. But yeah, after 10 o'clock, no more market news until the closing bell. So that's what we got for this morning. As Carlos was showing us just a minute ago, not that much on the gappers list, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a couple of earnings, and we'll go from there.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Peter. All right, friends, take a look what's going on in this gappers list this morning. We're going to hop over here. Control A, Control X is going to get rid of our list from Dash Trader Pro, clean that up, and we'll see what we have on here this morning. Um, all right, there we go. Starting with PLL. But before I do that, good morning over on YouTube. Tony joining us from the first time on this channel. So welcome, Tony. As we move things over back to our regular BBT Bearwoods Traders channel over on YouTube. So
Yeah.
good morning to you guys.
And we're not doing BBT community, right? That's not live today.
No.
Okay.
It's
All right.
way too much work to stream both places. So yeah, we
Okay.
did mention that Friday would be our last day doing that. So hopefully everyone
Okay.
has
There
moved
you go.
over. Um,
Missed that. Missed that.
yeah.
There you go.
All right, friends, and yeah, and apologies in advance for all the tech issues that we might have throughout this week. I am running now two computers here, and man, what a difference it is as far as how smooth things run. So one computer is streaming, and another one is doing the work that I'm putting in here. So it's a lot of work cable wise, Peter. I'll show you my cables later, but it is real nice. I am enjoying this. All right, but it'll take some
Cool.
time to get used to it. So just be patient with us.
Wow.
All right, friends, PLL this morning, we are up 20%, 233,000 shares traded, as you can see here. Got a little bit of volume, nice pop, but it doesn't look like one that we will keep on deck. Very light volume on the daily as well. So not sure what's driving it and if it's worth even putting on our list today.
Piedmont Lithium, relatively small lithium manufacturer, relatively low float too. Only about 18 million shares in the float with a 245 million market cap. Which, if you know miners, that doesn't pay for many trucks. So they're fairly small, but they did get a permit for a project in North Carolina. So not a lot of mining happening in the U.S., especially not a lot of new mining. So it's interesting that they got mining permit to mine for lithium in the U.S. So there you go. If you're in North Carolina, you may or may not be happy about that, but shareholders of PLL are happy so far this morning.
All right, so there you have it. I don't know how well this is going to trade for the way we trade here, so inclined to just leave it alone for the most part. Flow 17 million on it. So yeah,
Yeah, miners are always a tough trade.
yeah,
They they
yeah.
they just don't seem to trade well for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they just never do. So
Yeah. We'll leave this alone. Head over to the next one here in INDO, which we've seen plenty of times on our list in the past, and here we are up 6% this morning, 3.3 million shares traded, sitting on a American Stock Exchange energy company. Just doesn't trade very well, so usually I keep it off my list. Peter, anything interesting today that will warrant this to be on here, or just bypass it?
well, it's more rumor than fact. I actually don't know why they're going up. I would have thought that this would be a bad day for Indonesia Oil, Indonesia Energy, I guess is what they're officially called. They do trade on the American Stock Exchange. You'll have to note that first and foremost, right? Because that changes the way it trades. It's hard to borrow, which means you also can't short it. And I don't know. Like, there's no specific news from the company that I was able to find. There are continued tensions in the Middle East, so no surprise there.
Yeah.
Looks like there was, Israel is considering retaliation for some attacks that Iran, did over the weekend, and I'm not sure why Indo is going up. I mean, it maybe they've got large oil reserves out of the region that is, would benefit from if regional supply gets constricted. Not sure, but to be honest, whatever's happening, I mean, continued tensions in that area is usually not good for oil. So, but Indo alone is jumping up this morning. So, if anybody knows, if I've missed something, let me know. But I haven't found the news yet.
Yeah. So that one again, not looking all that great. So we'll leave that one alone. Wow, this morning nothing looking hot so far. Let's take a look at HMY, another mining company that usually trades pretty crappy. So another that I'm going to avoid on this one, Peter, as well. Let's head over to
Yeah,
JD.
it's a gold manufacturer. I'm surprised it's here. Every once in a while, we get these weird gold companies that are just popping up, and it seems to be almost different ones every couple of days. It's a little odd.
Yeah. I'm sure it has to do a lot with what's going on in the Middle East. We saw Bitcoin. If you saw Bitcoin over the weekend, big drop when the attack happened, and then once they realized that it wasn't a big as a deal as nobody getting hurt, it bounced right back up, right? But it was a huge drop when those attacks took place. War is different now. I mean, when I read about war, it was so different when I was a kid. But now it's like, hey, we're going to attack you here with this type of way. And Israel's like, okay, we're waiting for it. We're ready. And they just drop everything down. So it's just so weird the way it's happening. So hopefully it doesn't escalate and things can just cool down over there. CPNG, no, actually, Costco is next. I do like this one here. We're up
Oh,
2.2. Oh, no, sorry. I skipped JD. I was looking at the list.
yeah.
JD. Yeah.
There's really no news on it. Last week we talked about the fact that they were offering these cash incentives to try and boost their video content. Maybe they're still riding that train. I don't see any other news. We already talked about
Yeah.
that on Friday. So yeah,
Yeah. All right. So we'll leave that one alone. Now, Costco. Let's see. CS.
yeah. Actually, this is
CS.
Cisco.
Cisco, not
Cisco.
Costco. Sorry, Cisco.
Oh,
CSCO.
yeah,
So this is
Costco.
up 2.2. Yeah, Costco's cost actually. This is up 2.2, 217,000 shares traded. Again, not really much volume. Got a pop early this morning. Peter, anything driving this worth watching? Are we gonna get volume today?
I mean, not stuff that usually drives it. They did on last week on Friday complete the acquisition of one of the companies they were buying. They're always buying things, right? So, but Isovalent, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but they finished the acquisition, which means that they're now into integration phase. Normally, that's not a stock moving type of news. But that's all I got. I don't know. They did get an upgrade this morning. Maybe it's that upgrade. Bank of America, which is usually influential, they upgraded them to a buy from a neutral stance with a price target of somewhere between $55 and $60. So it could just be the upgrade that's causing the pop this morning because I really don't see anything else.
Yeah. Looks ugly for us. Man, nothing on the list. Last one on the gap up, JD. And these guys are up 2.1 this morning, 217,000. Again, just not really. Oh, we looked at this right. Not really a lot going on there. So that's our gap up list. Not a whole lot. Peter, anything as far as the gap up that you want to go over this morning that might not be on here?
Yeah, well, we have a couple of banks that had earnings this morning. So we'll start with the biggest of them, Goldman Sachs. They had earnings in the early hours or released, as you would expect. Goldman Sachs beat their numbers. Really not a surprise. They always beat their numbers, right? I mean, they're very good at managing it. They're always looked to, they expect, I guess they're always expected to beat their numbers because they're very careful in their forecasts. I don't have much more to say. They beat the numbers and they're gapping up slightly. The early hours trading is fairly low, but it usually is. It's a nicey stock. It doesn't get the volume until after the open. So not much else to report there. Another one that actually beat their numbers and is gapping up is MTB. This is M&T Bank Corp. I think they operate in your neck of the woods, Carlos. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
them or.
Yeah, I've
Or
seen their signs.
Yeah, I've seen them around too when I visited New York City, for example. I think we talked about them before. A relatively small bank, however, they also beat their numbers, so not much to report. They're also a nicey stock. And then I'll end with this one because then we can move to the gap down list. So Schwab. Charles Schwab, SCHW. Actually, they also beat their numbers, but are gapping down this morning. So I'm not sure why they're not also getting the joy of beating expectations this morning, but they seem to be down in the early moments. But that could reverse again. Once again, nicey stock, which means the real volume doesn't really come in until after the opening bell rings. So if you like those, just be careful with all three of them. But you're more than welcome to take a look at them. So
All right. Yeah,
yeah,
not
that's
looking
what I got.
all that great this morning for those. Let's see what's gapping down. Not a whole lot here, just two. DJT, big drop this morning, down 16%. Just happened a couple of minutes ago here, 8:15. 570,000 shares traded and climbing there. Hard to borrow, so you cannot short this one. This is Trump Media, so no shares for short. What happened? What's going on here?
Well, I don't know. Let me take a look
Yeah,
here.
I figured it just happened. I haven't seen this chart in a long time. I'm looking at the daily. This thing went up to 80, and I did not know it came back down so fast. So it's been dropping
Oh
over the
yeah.
last couple of days, down to
Oh yeah.
26.
It,
Wow. Okay.
well, I was at the beginning of the month too, right? The last
Yeah.
couple of days, last week it sort of slowed and it was fairly quiet. There isn't really any news on it that I can see, so I don't know. I think it just happened to make our list with enough volume to get here, because it's down a fair amount though, right? I don't
Yeah, something
I
broke out at
really
eight
don't know.
fifteen. I mean, there's been so many analysts on radio, TV
Well,
saying,
maybe it people are
"Yeah,
saying that it's a trial day. So if it's trial day, you know that Trump is going to be looking for any microphone to make some statements, which may or may not help DJT. People are if they're trading it in advance of that, then so be it. But all right, thank you everybody. I'm not really following the trial activity. Which trial is this, by the way? Does anybody know?
I think is
Kafefi.
this is the hush money
Kafefi.
one."
That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's like 5 years old now, isn't it? Oh, the hush money thing.
the
All
hush
right,
money. Yeah, yeah,
the,
that's the
the
one
Stormy
happening today.
Daniels one. All right, so guaranteed there's going to be news coverage about it. We'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, thank you everyone. This has got to be why it's moving then down in advance of that, because I don't think there's really anything new on that. At least I haven't seen anything in the media. So yeah, it likely to be in play during the day, but it's probably going to be volatile, right? Because we know there's a lot of fans out there of the stock, and tend to push it up. So you could see some erratic moves on it. Just be careful. I watch it sort of for fun sometimes, but I just feel like trading it. I'm looking for predictability, right? I'm looking for something that I can understand the movement and then sort of ride the wave. DJT and its predecessor, ticker in the market have been tough to do that, in my opinion. So well, I'll put it on here. I'm going to watch it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what take place here. Again, can't short it. So right now the momentum is to the downside, but we can't take part of it here with Interactive Brokers. No shares for short at the moment. And the other one on our gap down list is CRM. This is Salesforce, and they are down 3%, 290 shares traded. So decent drop for them today, as we're losing a key area of support that has been 295. So that we've been bouncing off of that a couple of times in February, March, even in April. And today we're breaking down from that. So not a whole lot of volume. Not sure if there's any news. Usually there's some kind of news, Peter, when this thing is moving. We don't see it often unless there's something happening with CRM.
Uh, hmm.
Nothing
Yeah,
out
I
there?
don't know.
Yeah.
They have talked about an acquisition. It's not confirmed though, but it seems to me they talked about this before. There's a company out there called Informatica that they've been looking at. As far as I can tell, um, there's no confirmation to that, right? Like in fact, there's a spokesperson that was asked for comment, and they said, "We do not comment on rumors and speculation," and Informatica is avoiding all media. So, is that suspicious? It's tough to tell, right? I mean, maybe there's an acquisition in the offer. I mean, they do have a good war chest, so they do have money if they wanted to. And their last big acquisition was about almost 3 years ago now. So when they bought Slack for about 27 billion. So I mean, it's possible, but I think that this seems to be a little preemptive, and the volume is pretty low. Like it's barely over our limit here to look at. You'll notice that most of this drop happened at sort of one moment, so that could have
Yeah.
been someone just repositioning their portfolio. Look, it may trade. It's once again a NYSE stock, which means that you don't get representative trading activity pre-market on NYSE stocks as well as you do on NASDAQ. So be careful with it if you're watching it. It might be worth keeping an eye on, but right now it's not doing much of interest.
Yeah, not looking all that good. So we'll skip it. Man, this has got to be one of the few times we come off this list, Peter, and there's nothing on here that we
Yeah.
like for a secondary or a main list. What do you have on
I
the
want to
gap
thank
down? Anything else?
Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susan found some news on DJT. So apparently they're looking to raise more cash, and they filed anyways the paperwork to issue additional shares. So thank you. I didn't see that news, Susan. So yeah, that's always. I mean, any stock. It doesn't matter. Any
Yeah,
stock
yeah.
will see
A
that as a
drop.
dilution event. And dilution events are never good, right? Because existing shareholders basically own less of the company the more shares that get issued. So, the fact that it's dropping on that rumor or that news is not surprising then. So, thanks. Again, DJT. Look, sometimes I watch it just for fun, but I very, very rarely trade it. It's tough. It moves. It doesn't move smoothly, and in the past,
Yeah.
it also has had a pretty big spread, and that's you got to watch that on any stock, right? The spread is difficult to get past, especially when now that the stock is sort of under $30, and when you get a spread that's, in my view, a $30 stock, any spread over 20 or 30 cents. Sort of you sort of look at that 1% of the stock value. It gets tough, right? Because now you need it to move 20 or 30 cents just to break even. Then you can
Yeah.
start to take advantage of the rest of the move. So you got to be careful on that. So I'll probably keep an eye on it here just in case something interesting happens with the trial, right? You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Right
This will
now,
be fun to watch. I agree with that 100%, Peter. We're gonna
yeah.
put that on here.
So
All right.
being that our list is pretty empty otherwise, why not?
Why not?
So,
Listen, timing is
CRM sort of
perfect.
in a
Mhm.
different story, completely different situation, but same thing, right? We're waiting for something interesting to happen. So CRM is not going to move unless that interesting thing happens, right? They may have an announcement today from either a leak or an announcement from either company, Informatica or Salesforce. But if nothing comes out, CRM is probably not going to do much of interest. So
Yeah.
that's probably more. That's a longer shot of something interesting happening on the stock than the DJT right now. So keep it on. And then I would say look at the banks. Even if you don't trade banks, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on these because sometimes they can provide interesting moves if you're willing to be patient on them. Goldman Sachs, of course, is the main one for today with their earnings coming out. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. And then there's my good buddies. You guys know I talk about them all the time. AMD not doing much of interest, although I will note the volume's a little higher than normal. If when we do the show at this time, often we have
Yeah.
400,000, maybe 500,000 shares. We're up to 800,000. It's not necessarily indicative of much, to be honest, but a little more volume is good. AMD, by the way, is the only one that's gapping down so far in the early hours, whereas NVIDIA, Intel, MU, they're all up, not by much, right? But still, they're all up a little bit. So we'll see. There might be some interest there. And then, of course, my good buddy Tesla. I think we've got to keep Tesla on the list. I find on the daily, I actually think it's in a very interesting spot here with it sitting just below the 170 mark. And we know that Tesla can get good volume and good movement. Unfortunately, I'm thinking it might be to the downside today, but we'll have to wait and see. There's sort of no news either way, but good volume so far this morning, and it is looking weak early on. So I'll just wait and see what happens on Tesla. That's about it. Actually, there was something else I was looking at earlier this morning, but I've lost it. I don't remember what the heck it was. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's what I've got.
All right, excellent. Let's take it to you guys. See what you guys like this morning. We'll start here in our chat. So Tesla, Peter did mention that one already. I did add that to the list. And Pino, yes, I saw that cutting staff. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I didn't see the news on that. So
Yep.
10% of its workforce, as Elon Musk says, it must be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, they got this picture. Is that? I don't. Is this a current photo? Hold on. Let me put this on my. Oh no, I don't want to do it there. Hold on. Let me share this. I don't know about you guys, but this is Elon looking rough, isn't it? He looking rough.
Yeah, he looks a little rough there.
I don't know. Look, what's this scar on his cheek here? I don't remember that either. He was in a fight or something. He never agreed to fight Zuckerberg, so I know that didn't happen. But I don't know, man. Anyways, altered photo. It's a deep fake. I don't. I mean, it could be for all I know. But anyways, it looks rough. So, anyways, I just.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, over on our chat here, Tesla, we do have it on deck. So only one on the main list right now. We'll probably put AMD and some other ones on here, as Peter was mentioning. Taking a look at what else you guys like this morning. Google, let's take a look at that one. So Google today, we are up 1.1%, 218,000 shares traded, but again, just not a whole lot of volume. But that's typical for this stock. We usually don't get great volume unless there's some kind of news. Daily trying to hit some all-time highs here, right? 160 or so. So, yeah, it could be interesting. I mean, I'll add it on here. I'm not huge fan of the way it
The
trades
Goog,
sometimes. Usually, I like
yeah,
to trade something else. Yeah,
the Goog is hard to trade.
it
I
is.
find
Yeah,
myself just
yeah.
always. Uh,
Let's take a look here. Mel Gregg giving us Apple. Let's take a look at Apple this morning. Big day last week, if you guys remember that. That would have been on Thursday. This morning, pretty much flat, but the volume is there. 1 million. Um, not sure where that is in the pre-market, but you got at least 1 million transacted so far. Could be interesting today after such a big move last week. So we'll add it on here as well.
I mean, there is a little bit of news about their iPhone shipments that they actually declined, especially out of China as more Chinese competitors, sort of give rise in the market. We noticed that North America. It's interesting how to me how North America has become almost a stable cell phone market, and most of the new advances and changes are happening in the Asia Pacific region. So South Korea, China, we're seeing a lot more adoption of different phones and platforms. So when did we become boring? But anyways, do you want to talk about the plug? No, never mind. Well, but
No, I don't
yeah.
talk about the plug. No, we're good.
All right.
Uh,
Sorry, that
yeah,
was
yeah.
uncalled for, Carlos. I
No,
apologize.
it's okay, man. Hey, listen, it gets me going.
I know that's why it
They
was uncalled
rectify
for.
that issue. So but thankfully, can you imagine if the next one would have came out with a lightning plug, lightning port? The hell is a lightning port? No, 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 no. All right, let's move on. Um,
See, I got him going. Sorry about that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Let's see here. All right, so Apple we did look at. I'm going to add that on here. It's got the volume. We'll see where it goes. Amazon this morning. A couple of you guys mentioning that 80 MS83DE sound like some kind of robot, but yeah, he mentioned this as well alongside our good buddy Chris. But yeah, Amazon. If I can get the right ticker, here it is. Oh, we got a little bit of volume on Amazon, up almost a 1%. That might be good today. I know he traded well last week, a couple of days, did very good. So we'll add it onto the list as well. Amazon looking nice this morning. Apple, we did have already, Ben. Thank you for that. Fell from the number one cell phone maker. Yeah, I mean, maker, right? So listen, people are holding on to their phones a lot longer. I mean, how many cameras can you add? How faster can you make it? It's I don't, you don't need a new phone every time unless you're in a tech, thingy or whatever. But phones are just working.
I,
Um,
it's
well,
one of
how long
these
you had your
where,
phone, Peter, for? How long?
well, I guess, well, this, I mean, I'm not the best one to ask probably because this
Oh,
is a
you just got a new
15.
one.
Well, I bought it in December of 2022 because it was right before my son's wedding, and I wanted it to get a new camera. But keep in mind, I
Okay.
went from a 6S to a 15. So,
Wow.
like
Okay. Yeah,
I
it's a
skipped
big
more
move.
versions than had existed. So yeah, I still the 6S is still right here. It needs to stay plugged in, but it's still
Yeah.
running fine, and it sits here. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I went from this guy to this guy. See, they're right here.
Yeah.
But I got the bigger one. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for there's got to be some disruptive technology for I think the cell phone industry to go, to sort of get crazy again, and it will. I'm convinced that it will at some point, but I don't know what that disruptive technology. People were trying the glasses. Remember, a couple of years ago, the glasses were everybody sort of well, some people thought this was going to be the next cool thing, and others are like, that is dumb. I'm not using them. And Apple's tried. They had their Vision Pro thing, right, that came out. And Carlos, you were not a big fan. But do you, by the way, in the New York area, see anybody driving with them? I remember that was a
I
story where
have
people were.
not seen. No, I
Yeah.
have not seen anyone driving with it or walking with it yet. So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, so that'll be fun. Uh,
I guess
I mean,
walking, you could. I mean, that's legal, right? I mean, they can't
yeah,
stop
it's
you from
legal.
walking
Yeah,
with any dump stuff on your face you want. But
yeah, yeah,
it would be weird. I mean, it was supposed to be virtual assist technology, right? And they didn't.
yeah.
Wasn't that part of the promise? That. But anyways,
Yeah,
I don't know.
we'll see. I mean, I'm old school, man. I got AirPods, and when I'm talking to someone, I have to, even though there's nothing playing, I can hear them properly. I feel like I have to take them off.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to my mother, like I gotta take them off. I don't, I know I can hear her, but it's just something about it. So now I cannot see myself wearing these goggles while I'm talking to my mother. That's not gonna
No.
happen. So
I'm
it's
picturing, you
weird.
know what I'm picturing? I think the next big move, this is all right. So let me go crazy for a second. I think the next big move is going to be some sort of technology. Remember those headphones that people wear for jogging that they had the band around the back and they just sat on your ears
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the advent of the little pod things. I'm thinking it's going to be some sort of halo technology that's going to allow you to get sort of a 3D image of a screen that will react to your hand motions. Like we're getting all the hand motion stuff is there. That technology exists. We just haven't got that halo display that somehow will create it in front of you so that you can like get sort of this 3D virtual reality thing that to me that's sort of where it's going to go next, where but I don't know when that's going to happen or if. So I could be totally wrong. I mean, who knows?
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's my guess anyways. You want me
I'm
to put
with you
some
though.
money down?
Something big needs to happen. So
There you
we're
go. Heard it
working on
first
it.
here,
Yeah.
Hector.
Heard it
Yeah.
first here. We don't know what it is, but it's something big is happening. Um,
Yeah.
all right, let's get to it, friends. What else you guys have this morning? Again, not a whole lot going on. Let's look at Meta. Mentioned by our good buddy Jose over on YouTube. So Meta right now, we are trying to get going here. Up 1.5, not much volume, but that's typical Meta action pre-market. They don't get great volume before the market opens. So we could watch it. We could watch Meta, see where it goes today. How about Coin, guys? Nobody mentioned Coin, and if you did, I missed it. I apologize. Over if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up and help us get to our goal this morning. We are sitting currently at that can't be right. 5 likes. Let me refresh. Let's see what we got going on here.
Have
73
we lost
likes.
everybody because we're in a different spot?
Yeah.
They can't
Uh,
find us.
yeah, I
Oh
know,
no.
right? 73 likes so far this morning. Help us get to
Yeah.
165. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. All right. What else? Coin, friends. Looking at Coin this morning, I know they have the Bitcoin had that big drop over the weekend, recovered nicely as if we look at BTC and the price overall. So I'll put this on a secondary, see what happens. Right now it's pretty quiet. Let's take a look at Mara, being mentioned by our YouTube buddy Pig Wrestler, always on with us here. Let's take a look if Mara's doing anything. Not doing a whole lot. Again, drop on Friday. Pretty quiet right now. Volume is quiet as well. But these two have been fun to watch, and you could trade either one. They're both good. Pick your favorite when it comes to those two. Tesla on the move. Let's see what's going on. Tesla, yeah, Tesla's bouncing back from the low of 168.50 here, and 2 million shares trade. So Tesla's going today. That's our
Yes.
favorite one
Good volume.
this morning, man. That's going. That's nice. So that'll be on list here. And over here, let's see here. Tech, Nvidia, we have right. We have Nvidia. I thought we put Nvidia on deck. No, we don't actually. We talked about it, but we didn't put it on here. So Nvidia's another one that will be nice to watch this morning. We'll put it on there since we don't have a whole lot. We'll put Nvidia on deck as well. Mara, Clean Spark, MU. Let's take a look at MU. MU this morning, pretty flat right now. We'll have to wait for the market open and see how that reacts when it comes to MU itself. MB Brian or M Brian, let's see, ARM, yeah, pretty quiet. This is one of those side investments from Nvidia. I got this thing going some time ago. If you guys remember, this crazy man is here, and then from there, it just hasn't really done much. Volume has dried up pretty much for the rest of the time that's been hanging out here, but it maintained its pop, right? So usually companies like this, it's just the hype and they come back down. This one has maintained its new price range over at 130, 127. So we'll keep it there. And again, I'm not sure how in play it's going to be, but if you like this one, you could definitely watch it. We got space today, not a whole lot that's looking great on this list this morning. All right, friends, let's give you an update of what's happening for the next 2 weeks. We can always get that by going over to bearbootraders.com. And if I can get this right over here. So that's going to be bearbootraders.com and head over to announcements, actually webinars. And Peter will let you know what's happening for the next 2 weeks.
We have our full slate. We're sort of back to regular production schedule here, which means that we've got everything Monday to Thursday that you know and love. So we start tonight with our onboarding class at 8 p.m. Thank you, Carlos, by the way, while we were doing craziness out in Vancouver and all that fun at the summit. You kept the dream alive and kept the onboarding stuff. You did do that onboarding last week, right? So.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, that's what you're talking about. No, we didn't do it. So
You didn't do
me
it?
and Mike,
Oh,
no. So me and
we were
Mike
talking
were
about it.
we were gonna do. We were scheduled, but we know 8 o'clock. The time frame is just all different, so we
Yeah.
completely forgot because I'm so used to doing it in the evening. So me and Mike are walking out of the elevator with equipment, and someone calls me, "Hey, you doing the pre-market, the onboarding class?" I'm like, "No, we're not, man. I'm carrying equipment from the show, so that's not gonna happen today." So apologies
That's
if you were looking for us. We will do it tonight for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I was getting a plane at that point, so I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that. Anyways, all right, tonight onboarding. If you're new, then absolutely you want to be there. It's a great way to get oriented with everything that's happening in the room. Well, that was my big face. And you can get familiar with all the offerings that we got. Or if you got basic questions or advanced questions on trading, Carlos is there and happy to help you out with that. So tonight, 8 o'clock in the classroom, I believe, then you should be able to enjoy that there. Tomorrow night, we switch our focus to strategy and trade book as we always do on Tuesdays. And I've been telling you for the last couple of weeks, Lenny is going to be with us. Lenny did a great presentation in Vancouver at the summit, and he's going to share it with all of you. So, how to master the open, the essential price action techniques that he uses. He's going to explain those to you and how he takes advantage of that price movement in his open trading. I said I loved his presentation and Artie's, and Avi, and because they had some very interesting strategies that they traded straightforward, but it's usually the ones that look the simplest that they're sort of the most technical. You have to understand exactly what you're doing to make sure you take the right ones and avoid the ones that don't set up. So pay attention to this. It's good learning one way or the other, whether you want to use it or not. It's good to understand what he does. That'll be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock in the webinar room. And the next week, Paris will be back with us talking about how to unlock the psychological insights of the chart patterns that he uses. Again, he does a great job with his trading, and he really understands his strategy inside and out so they can take advantage of it every single day. So that'll put that in your calendar, Tuesday, April the 23rd at 8 p.m. Wednesday, we switch our focus solely on psychology. And then this week, Mike, as I've been telling you, is going to be back doing his series on a trader's journey. This one's going to be embracing a process-oriented mindset. So that'll be at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night, April the 17th. And then the week after, on the 24th, we'll have Randy Howell, who's always got some great names on his webinars. Why can't I stick to my rules when I get the trade? What a great, because how many of us have said that to ourselves, right? So he will help you answer the question. Obviously, he can't give you your answer for you, but he's going to tell you how to find that answer and how to be more self-aware, which we all need to be in our trading. Thursday, we change our focus onto individual and group mentorship. Our group mentorship sessions happen with John starting at 11 a.m. It's great because it's usually a very small group and it's focused. So if you've got questions, and even if you're a little shy, right, you don't want to ask them in the open room, which, by the way, you can do any time. And both us and your fellow members are always happy to answer. We've got a great group here that are always happy to help each other out. But if you want to sort of get into a smaller group and get John to answer those, then save them up and you can bring them to the Thursday session at 11 a.m. in the webinar room. Or if you've got the same type of questions for options or even more advanced ones, Jared loves the advanced ones. And I know Megan's always happy to answer any question you throw at her. So that'll be at 2 o'clock with Jared and Megan in the webinar room. And then last but not least, Thor will close out the day as he always does at 8 o'clock with his Thursday mentorship session. So join him for that. It's always high energy and always very informative. So those are our 3 Thursday mentorship sessions. We don't typically schedule any events for Friday. So there you go. There's our Monday to Thursday schedule. Hopefully you'll put those in your calendar. And we'll see you there. Don't forget, our scanners are sponsored this morning, like every morning, by TradingTerminal.com. Go check out Trading Terminal. It's got all the sort of news and events and information, insider information, market knowledge, as well as free scanners, a free trading tool that you can use, a free simulator, an after-hour replay mode. You can trade any stock on any day. Check it out. It's got lots of resources for you. The scanners are free. Yes, indeed, BC Trades. You can use those scanners in there at no cost. So check it out. It's got some great scanners. They're customizable too. You can set them up to do whatever you want or custom develop your own. So using the tools in there. So there you go, tradingterminal.com. And if you want to join us here at Bear Bull Traders, we love new members. We love having people join us in the room. In fact, on Mondays, we typically get a few people who've joined over the weekend. So if you're new in the room, don't be shy. Say hi and we'll happily say hi right back. But if you want to join us, you can use the intro offer, which gives you a 1 week access, 5 days access to the room, and then limited access to our inventory of classroom material that you can take a look at. That's only $24 if you're listening here. Use the code PreMarket24 to get access to that. Then you can join with the basic or elite monthly, the elite annual, of course. And then what is the best deal, if you're interested in some intensive training, our Peak Capital Bootcamp is packaged with our elite annual. So 1 year of annual elite access into the Bearable trading community, plus the 3-month boot camp for a pretty low price, only $29.99 here, and that's a good deal. Use the code Platinum to get access to that, if I can spit it out. And it is a great class. It's worth checking out. Our next one starts coming up soon. It starts in May, so only a couple of weeks away, and then we only have one more for the year in September. You can sign up for either one of those in taking advantage of this deal. So don't delay. Buy now. Operators are standing by. All right, there you go. There's my sales pitch for today, and we'll get back to setting some levels and get you ready for the morning.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter. All right, friends. This morning, I have Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Meta, and NVIDIA. That is our list for today. And we'll set some levels. Again, not a blockbuster list, but, we'll find something to trade. We always do. So let's get over here and start looking at Tesla. Let's get some levels in place here. We've been stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. So really not a whole lot for us to do here. The low of the pre-market marked down by the low of Thursday. So right on here, if you see that, this is Thursday's low. So that's already set there for you. Do not need to do anything. Let's worry about the high of the pre-market, which is right at 172.12 or 10, 172.10. We'll slam a level there. And then towards the bottom towards the top, you do have the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days here and also here. Someone asked me earlier, I couldn't find the name. What is this pen that we use, right? What is this marker that we use for the computer? This is called Epic Pen. So if you can see it right on here, really, really good software. I got it hooked up on some hotkeys so I can, write pretty quickly, erase, and go back to the cursor. So it's called Epic Pen. You can get it just regular websites, completely free. And I think it's $20 to get the pro version. So really handy if you're a teacher, if you work on some kind of presentations. This can be really, really nice. And this is not a sponsorship. I don't get anything for them. It's just a good product. It's just a great product.
It is a simple, good product. Yeah, we use it all the
Yeah.
time, and it's got a whiteboard feature. We don't typically use that, but
Yeah. Would that
other
work
things you
here?
can do.
There it is.
Yeah,
So
just
bunch of stuff
there
there.
you go.
They even got a clicker now, Peter. You saw this? They got this little arrow thing that kind of does this little
That's
feature
new.
there. That's new. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
cool.
friends. And then towards the bottom, below the pre-market, going back to Tesla, here we do have a level right on this. It's going to be 166.43, and then right on here, 163.71. And once you do that, you're set on Tesla. Good volume this morning, guys. Going to 2 million now. So volume is coming in nicely there. Definitely worth having on the list. Of my favorite one so far. Second to that is going to be Apple. Apple with a great day on Thursday, and then followed by some move on Friday. And today it's got 1 million shares traded. We'll see if that can continue. But looking very exciting the last couple of days. So high of the pre-market is set at 176.28. So we'll slam a level there. So you guys slam that thumbs up over on YouTube. Help us get to our goal of 160 is our goal for the likes this morning. So thank you so much for helping us get there. 174 is the low of the pre-market right on there. Nice bounce this morning already. This has been a really fun stock to watch. And I hope Apple can get back to the good old trading days that we had, 3 months ago or so. It was on our list on a regular basis. I hope it can get back to that. 171.97 level on the daily, and then towards the bottom of that, you do have another area where it's a little bit of support and also resistance at 169.74. Again, the stock is looking to go higher though, and I think it's looking to get going. Towards the top, above the previous day close, we do have other levels here that we should mark down. 180 is going to be the next one that I see above all these highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Heading over to Amazon this morning. Amazon as well, trying to get back to that all-time high. We are up 1%, 589,000 shares traded, which is actually great volume for Amazon. They typically don't get a whole lot of volume in the pre-market, but that 589 is really, really good for them. 187.32 is the high of, it's a level that we see here on the daily. So you got a couple of stuff there. Definitely want to mark that down. The high of the pre-market marked by the high of Friday, last trading day. And the low of the pre-market, pretty much where the previous day close is. We see a lot of resistance support happening there. So that's already set for you. Don't need to worry about a whole lot when it comes to Amazon. Meta also stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. You can see how much support and resistance we have around this area. I'm just going to worry about the pre-market high over at 522.49 and the pre-market low at 513.74. And once you do that, you're pretty set. I don't think you need to add anything else. Let's not make it more complicated. Keep it nice and simple there for Meta. Let's take a look at NVIDIA now. NVIDIA this morning, we are looking at our high of our pre-market 895.50, and the low is pretty much slamming into our previous day close right on there around 881.50, 881.86. So pretty much set there. And then again, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days surrounding the price action there on NVIDIA. So that is looking nice. Couple of apostles on here. We got Google, some banks as well. Coin could be a good one that we can maybe take a close look at, but for the most part, we are set. Let's take a look at our moderators and see how they are doing this morning. I'm just going to bring this over here. Let's resize this, make it look nice and pretty for you guys. And here we go. In the meantime, Peter, anything that you have seen that you like on your thing this morning?
Well, I mean, nothing that's not in my watch list. I'll give a reminder at this point then that this morning we're seeing the market move up in the early going here as a result of the economic data that we had come out. Retail sales were unexpectedly strong. So you guys are buying lots of stuff. Keep up the good work. The market seems to like that. We'll see if it holds it as we head to the open, but that's why the gap's up there, and we could see that that movement start really after that economic data came out just around 8:30. So
yeah, keep buying. The malls are packed. I go on the mall on a Tuesday afternoon. There's no parking lots available.
oh, yeah?
It's crazy.
Well,
Who's shopping at Tuesday at 2 in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon? People should be
everybody.
working. I don't know.
People should
On a Tuesday.
go get
So
a job.
is everybody trading? Is everybody trading now that they have the flexibility? I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's take a look here, friends, at our moderators list. Thor, Tesla, Bank of America, Apple, and DJT today. With the trial going on with Trump starts today, so that could be exciting. And futures as well. Jared looking at Tesla to 173.50 is his target there. AMD as well, plus DJT also. Trading Mom, Susan, Apple, NVIDIA, and Bank of America. Eamon, American Airlines, and Bank of America as well. I feel left out. I think I have to put Bank of America on my list. Everybody's watching it. Jared, INTC, and ARM. Adding those two to his list as well. Megan will be looking at AMD, Mike, Amazon, and Google for him as well. No IPOs, no SPACs for this Monday morning. And then, Peter, you're looking at AMD, Tesla, Goldman Sachs, secondary list, Amazon, and DJT for fun. So, excellent. Friends, I think we are all set here. Peter, anything that we might forget?
I think we got it covered so far. You guys trade smart, trade safe out there, and we will talk to you again tomorrow morning.
All right, guys, take care. Have a great trading day. We'll see you tomorrow.